Hello, so what we're going to do is continue where we left off with the previous video, which showed you some basic functions within Logic. This next video will show you a few more functions that you might find useful when working with your audio for animation. So, working with Logic again, go, Applications, let's find Logic, let's open it up. So when Logic boots up, we know that we've got this dialog box. We need to choose an empty project, let's select that. And we get this dialog box pop up that gives us a. So when Logic boots up, we have this dialog box which pops up and gives us different options of what kind of track we want to create, software, instrument, or audio. We're going to go with an audio track again and hit create. And as per the last video, file, movie, open movie. Let's navigate to where our movie is. So it's on the desktop. Bring that in, use 48K. And sample rate will use 24 frames per second. And let's just shrink this down. And as we're aware, this is our movie file, so let's just press play. There we go, you can see it's working. So for this video, I'm going to add some audio. So I've recorded some ambience that's going to work with this scene. So select the track I want to use, go File, Import, Audio File, drop in this ambience just here. So if I just play that now, there you go, you can hear it's ambient traffic noise. So I want to crop the audio so it's the same length as the video, so I can bring my cursor down to the bottom of the audio clip and drag it so it's the same length as the video file. Or if I wanted to actually cut to the video, what I can do is where my playhead is, if I line my playhead up to the end of the animation, we know that we can use our scissors tool. But as a nice keyboard shortcut, if I hold down Command and T, it will cut the audio, and I'm just going to go hit backspace to delete it. So I've now got, so as you can hear there, so I've now got my animation and I've got my audio working with it. There we go. As we remember from the previous video, I can bring up my mix window and I can balance the level of the animation. This track here, this is when we imported the video, it's asked us to import the audio. Well, there wasn't any audio with this track anyway, so actually I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. So I've got my one audio track now. Now I'm thinking I want to add some music to this. So now I've got my track, I've got my ambient background noise. I'm thinking I want to add some music to this. I've got several ways I can do this. If I go hit this plus icon just here, it asks me to create another track. I'm going to create another audio track just here, and I can drag and drop some more audio in. What I could do is use some of Apple's loops and samples. So if I click on this icon just here, I get Apple loops. So sometimes it may take a second where it indexes the loops just to find all the various hundreds, if not thousands, of loops that are available. I can search them via instrument, genre, or via description, or I can just click on one and hear how it sounds. Don't worry too much about that dialog box there, it just means you haven't got privileges to save the actual audio file. We'll come to that later on. So I can scroll down, I can find whatever sound I want, or I click on instrument and think, well, what sound do I want to go with this clip? I'm going to go for something string based, and I'm just going to just sort of pick one slightly at random here. What's this one? Solisol. There we go, I like that sound. So I'm just going to quite simply drag and drop it onto our arrange window. Now if I want to continue this piece of audio, if you notice when my cursor, let me just move the playhead out of the way and we'll just maximize, make this a bit bigger. If you notice with my, when I use a pointer, notice if this got this loop function now appears, so I can stretch the audio and copy it, and it will loop as many times as I want to. So let's just take it to there. Or if I don't want to do that, so let's just undo that. If I click on the audio and hold down the Alt key, I can just drag and drop and copy the audio that way. Both ways work pretty much the same. So let's go back to return to 0. So I'm just going to move these audio files a little bit, just place them a little bit more where I want them. And if I go back to return to 0, now I can balance the levels, so let's just bring the music down a bit on the fader here, so the ambient traffic noise is a bit more dominant. So there's hundreds, if not thousands, of audio samples and loops that I can play around with. If I want to bring some into my arrangement, I can either click on the plus icon and bring in an audio track, or I can quite simply just drag and drop the audio file into the arrange window, and you get this dialog box pop up saying you didn't have sufficient privileges. Don't worry about that, we can just go, in fact, let's not see that message again, hit OK, and what happens is now it'll play both the audio files together. And let's just move these around a bit so they fit. And so I've just moved these two audio tracks now. So and let's bring my mix window up and let's just balance the two a little bit. Pull this down, and we're starting to build our track. So that works. If I'm feeling a bit more adventurous and I want to have a go at actually physically playing some notes in myself, I can use a software instrument track. So I'm just going to hide the mixer again. I'm going to move my video file out of the way. In fact, I'll close this loop browser down. So now we've got a couple of audio tracks. There's a couple of functions I'd like to show you. So if we go to Logic, Preferences, Advanced Tools, and let's just show the advanced tools and go Enable All. As you see, the screen quickly flashes, but it brings back my mute and my solo functions, which I quite like to use. So I'm just going to mute these two tracks. So what I'm now going to do is just show you how to use a software instrument, and that's using the piano keyboard in front of you at the moment. So what I need to do is show you how to do a software instrument. So click on the plus. Now you notice this dialog box slightly changes, it's less graphical. So go software instrument, let's move that out of the way, and let's just create this. And we can see by default it brings in the electric piano. If I play the piano in front, I can see the notes. Let's hit record. It plays the notes back. There we go, it's quite simple. I can change the sound, so if I don't want the electric piano, I can go for, let's pick something experimental. Let's pick electric harmonics. Let's see what that sounds like. There you go, and there's lots and lots of different sounds and samples we can mess about with. So I've now dragged and dropped some audio in, I've used the loops, I've actually physically played some audio in. What I'm going to do is actually show you how to export it. So I don't want this track I've created here, but what I do want is the violin part I've created. So if I just click just up here and bring in these, what's called our loop function, or our left and right locators, I can just drag it to the end of the video file, and whatever I play that isn't muted or is soloed will be how it actually bounces the video file out. So let's just listen. That's good. So I'm going to export this now as a .mov file, which will have the audio and the visuals embedded into it. If we go to File, Movie, and then Export Audio to Movie. Let's click on this. It'll ask us what do we want. We want linear PCM, 48K, 16-bit will be fine for this. We're just going to rename it Finished and hit Save. And it'll ask us about choose the audio tracks to export. So let's OK that. Now we see it was really quick. So if I just minimize this, and we can see now on the desktop, it's now created this exported .mov file as well. So let's get rid of that. So you can see we've got the exported .mov file as well. So let's just play this. And that's how it's exported video and audio.